Greetings, everyone. This is Kaiser, a representative of Staying in the Light Society. What's that? Well, we're a private membership society that's showing communities around the world how to be private, how to secure the protection of their state constitution. Because if you're not private, you cannot do that because you have a public person and a private person. So when you come under a public person, you become subject to their public laws and all that. So these are things we talk about in the private. I never go in detail in the public because they are to be kept separate. That's a hint for those of you who are seeking understanding of public and private. They do not mix. So be careful what you reveal in the public. And we also show you things that we should be doing as a private community. And it's not that difficult to understand because it's all about family. So anything I reveal here is really for the private community. We're not seeking anything from the public. We're really here for the private community. So if you're not a member of this private community, if you're not seeking to understand what we're about, this is not for you. Whoa, I got a picture up here. Where this picture come from? It says green string, green screen. Okay, I stumbled upon something here. Yeah, this is interesting. This is a picture of us in antiquity, which was not that long ago when we ruled the world. So let's get to it. Now that we got a few people in, we grew up, we had enough sense to take care of our grandparents. We had to take care of them, because we loved them. We wouldn't just throw them away to a rest home or hospital, which is not a very hospitable place. We would not allow someone else to take care of our loved ones. However, my mother was I can't really blame anyone because I wasn't here. I was away. I was way, way, way away. Actually, in the military, and it's amazed me to see how my great aunt she's spent her life taking care of her aunt. I mean, I've seen it all my life. My the actually matriarch of our clan was in Louisiana, and I watched as a young teenager how everyone took turns taking care of her. She had to be born around 1860. The point being made is that we always took care of our elderly. Matter of fact, the only time I went to a hospital to see someone who was part of the family was my brother. He was out there doing something he shouldn't be doing, and he got shot. He got mixed up in that gangster life. And I don't know too much about it to go into it, but I think his wife had something to do with it. I don't know. I don't know what happened. But I'm just letting you know that's the only time I really went to a hospital. And now I had a sister who was sent off out of state to an institution. And I went to see her. But other than that, we was sane enough to take care of our own. So it amazed me when the people who was here to take care of my mother threw her away in the form of sending her to a sister, to my sister who was in another city in the same state. So when she was sent to our sister wasn't taking care of her. She gave her a separate house. She had a separate apartment. And later I came to find out they was disturbed because she kept falling down in the house. She was getting up in age. And I said, what? How can you be upset with somebody falling down in the house and they're elderly and you not coming around or you not there living with them to take care of them? That's abandonment. That's a sin against your ancestors, abandon them. So that's why there's always has to be a man in charge, which was my brother, who seemed to not really care what happened. I never talked to him about that. Matter of fact, we don't talk too much today. But let's talk about the harmony and not the disharmony. My mother was abandoned, and the minute she had a little problem, they sent her to the hospital. Wow. That's something they never did to my grandparents. Let's see, our parents had enough sense not to do that. So we didn't learn from our parents to take care of our own. I mean, this is your mother, sister, and brother. Yeah, I've been frustrated with that years and years because I tried to intervene at one point and live with them and take care of them. However, I had part of the ancestry in me to do that, and for that I was ridiculed, talked about everybody but a child of God. What? You mean you moved your mother and sister into a decent neighborhood and going to call yourself taking care of them? You must have lost your mind. That's what the response I received for my being sane. So when they didn't want to be bothered with them, they just, just sent them out of the city, out of sight, out of mind. So let's not do that. Let's not do that, people. Do not cast off your elderly people, your mother, your father, anybody in your family. Take care of them yourself, whatever the cost, whatever the sacrifice, and you will be favored in the eyes of the Creator. Otherwise, it's a curse put on you when you don't do that. It's a it's a curse put on you that you don't recognize, you can't see, and you cannot deal with it because that is extreme hatred not to take care of your own. We just don't do that. We got to get back to that because you're following the ways of those who oppress you. You're becoming an oppressor yourself against your own family. That's insanity. Putting your family members in a rest home for somebody else to take care of them. The same people you are petitioning and taking to court for not recognizing you as a human being. You're trusting them to take care of your own. That's insanity. So hopefully the children will recognize this message and not trash their parents, because that's insanity. We want to bring back sanity to our community. I was listening to this book by Clarence Thomas, and it amazed me how the minute his grandparents who raised him and took care of him, and the philosophy was self-care because he watched them take care of their parents in the home. That the minute they got sick, he took both of them to the hospital, which they never, anytime they go to the hospital, they never come out well again for long. There's something happened to them in the hospital that, it robs you of your, I think, your life blood. I don't know what they do to you in there, but I don't know. The point I'm making is this. I said if you have an injury that's life threatening and you think the hospital can help, that's one thing. But I'm speaking about just people getting older, not able to move around, need people to do things for them. That's your job as a family to take care of them. That's not nobody else's job. And if you don't do that, you got a mark on you that your offspring are going to have to deal with. In other words, as you do to them, so will it be done to you. So if you get older, you wouldn't want to be left abandoned in a hospital or in a house by yourself. That's the same thing. That's even worse. Then don't do it to your parents. In Clarence Thomas' case, he was away when his grandfather got ill and passed. and they had taken him to the hospital. I think, yeah. Now his grandfather believed in self-help, so he tried to medicate himself, take care of himself. But it reached a point that he just aged. They say age catch up with you. I say you have matured and you have done your duty, so you're called home. That's what I say. That's the beauty of living elderly because you've been doing good work here and you live to be a wonderful age. You know, some people don't make it. Some people don't make it to live too long. And so after he buried his grandfather, was it a few months later or a little while later, his grandmother got sick shortly after. And that's really, when people die that quickly, it's usually a heartbreak of losing someone who they've been around for years and years and years and don't think they can live without them. That's usually the case. And he carried her to the hospital. Yeah, he didn't try to get someone to take care of her, which was his duty. He carried her to the hospital, and then shortly after that, she passed. So I'm saying, wow, that was ruthlessness. We don't do that anymore, people. We don't send. We're not to send our parents to be taken care of by anybody else. Family's supposed to do that. This is what we got to get back to. And it's surprising that his generation, which is my generation, would do that to their parents. So I got to blame myself for what happened to my mother because I wasn't around and I'm the oldest. My brother confessed to me that he wasn't there for nobody in the family. He just wasn't there. Just unavailable. Well, you got to live with that. You got to live with being unavailable. And just pray that you have done enough good for someone to take care of you and not send you to the hospital. In other words, you should want for yourself what you want for others. If you don't want to be sent to a hospital and abandoned, why would you allow your parents to be sent to a hospital and abandoned? Madness. I watched him take care of his grandpa. Man, that that's on the plus side. You got a lot of blessings for doing that because their children wasn't going to allow you to send them to no hospital. No, I saw you as a strong example. Take care of your grandfather. So why would you not take care of your mother? Let her into your house. Take care of her. Well, I just have to discuss these things because they're still in my mind. I haven't recovered from it. These things happened decades ago. And though I wasn't around, it's amazing to me the neglect that took place in my family. And I'm just sharing all this to share with you all who may have worse situations or worse circumstances. Not taking care of your own is insanity. Stop it. Stop it. And with that, we're going to yield the floor and see if this picture's going to come out on my green screen. And I've been looking how to do this for years to have a picture on my screen rather than a black screen. So let's see how this works. Adios.